chose Tiger Force! My Python experiment will make Cobra invincible!
Hey, this is Mike from Junkion Crafts and Builds, and this is the unboxing and impressions video for G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Officer. So I have to get a special shout out to the Chosen Prime for getting this figure shipped to me so quickly. I really appreciate it. Let's look at the box. So we have the open plastic front here to show you what you're actually buying. And a really cool image up front here of the Python Patrol Officer, apparently shouting and giving directions. Go over to the other side and he's cheering on the Raven. It's getting the flyby there. The usual Python Patrol background on the back. Here are his stats, and here he is number 56 for those that care about numbers. So that's the box. Let's get him out and look at the accessories. And here's the Python Officer's accessories out of the box. Starting from right to left, we have his helmet. Again, black pliable plastic, and basically a remold of the Cobra Infantry. We have his sidearm, little Luger style weapon. Again, nicely sculpted. It's got a Cobra symbol at the bottom there, and it is blast effect compatible. Next we have his knife. Again, black plastic with silver paint on the blade. Nice deco. Nothing we haven't seen before, but still nice to have. Weapon wise, we have his assault rifle, which is nice. It's just pretty much black plastic with a slight green accent paint here. But as you can see, mine out of the box is bent all sorts of different ways. So I'm going to take a heat gun to this and straighten it up. And with that, we have the obligatory removable magazine. And we have the laser scope accessory. Finally, we have his submachine gun. Again, we've seen this this weapon on other figures. All black plastic, blast compatible, or blast effect compatible. It too has a magazine that loads on the side, and it has a shoulder or backpack sleeve to hold them in. Again, gray plastic, pliable with the Cobra symbol embossed on it. Nice texture work to simulate leather. And that is his accessories. And so let's get to the figure. And here's the Python Patrol Officer out of the package. Some information about the Python Patrol team is that they were an elite unit of hand-picked Cobra Vipers, extremely loyal to Cobra Commander. They were trained and used in stealth and infiltration missions, and were extremely proficient in it because of their uniforms. These uniforms were Pythonized, which means they were designed to confuse G.I. Joe radar systems. The vintage G.I. Joe toys, the Python Patrol sub-team, was released in 1989 and consisted of redecos of the following figures: Copperhead, the Crimson Guard, the Cobra Officer, the Cobra Trooper, the Televiper, and the Viper. Interesting fact though with this figure is that this deco is not in line with the original Cobra Officer toy. This is actually the deco for the Cobra Infantry Trooper. So the Cobra Officer vintage toy was all in black with like this colorization for their suspender harnesses across their body. Specifically for the Cobra Python Patrol Officer, they were required to take special courses in infiltration and stealth tactics and leadership. They're qualified air traffic controllers, artillery spotters, and are extremely well trained for field leadership. They are experienced in second generation digital keyboard message devices that can send information with or without audio transmissions. So for today's standards, he can text. First introduced in the Marvel Comics number 88, and in subsequent issues number 99, 100, and Special Missions number 28. they were shown as being loyal to the imposter Cobra Commander, which was the Crimson Guard Fred. And the Pythonized uniforms were developed by Dr. Mindbender to help Destro's cousin, Darkline. Now, they weren't in the original Real American Hero cartoon series, but they did show up in the follow-on cartoon. So that's a little bit of history on the Python Patrol. So let's look at this figure closely. So this figure is a redeco of the 2021 release of the Cobra Infantry. So let's just get a little closer here to see what we can show. So first and foremost, I applaud Hasbro for bringing in some more inclusiveness to their line. So, but again, this figure, like I said, is a redeco. So we have, instead of the blue, we have this puke green yellow chest piece and upper torso with a red accent. Again, the face is really just a repaint. Still nice enough. We have this harness that wraps around the back. And the Python design actually is fairly consistent across all the pieces, so I had to give him a little bit of credit for that. We have black accents along the armor pieces with gray fingers. Now this guy, they didn't really cut the sprue areas off completely, so I got to trim that up. So we have his belt with holster, black pants with a gray knife sheath, and gray boots with silver buckle accents. So not too much else to really say. He's got the design backpack here with the extra pouches to hold all the accessories. But still, decent enough figure. Deco, like I said, is a little rushed and design's a little rushed. I'm sure just to get this out. But all in all, not too bad. Let's go to articulation. So articulation across the board with most G.I. Joe Classified is the same. We have the head, swivel, can look up just a little bit with a ball peg, look down with a double ball peg. Shoulders can go up to here. We have a slight butterfly, bicep swivel, pinned elbows that are double jointed to get you all the way up. We have an ab crunch, so you can go back that far, down that far. My torso swivel or waist swivel is a little tight, and he's not really centered. As you can see, there's a gap here between the upper abdomen area and the waist and the hips. Speaking of hips, we have drop down hips, so you can get your legs up that far, back that far, pinned double jointed knees, and we have boot swivel, toe tilt. This one's a little tight, but see how the other one is. So toe tilt up, toe tilt down, rocker. So that's articulation. Let's get him accessoried up. And here he is with all his accessories on. Thankfully, he's one of the figures that has enough pouches and pockets and everything that he can hold all the accessories at one time. Again, these pieces aren't anything new that we haven't seen in other classified figures, but it's just nice having him being able to carry everything at one time. And here he is with the rest of the Python Patrol that's been released this year, with the Cobra, Python Patrol Vipers, and Bats. His colors make him stand out a little bit more against the rest of this red and gray team. My final impressions of him: he's an effective use of a existing figure. The sub team wasn't, too prolific, at least when I was growing up. I never really had any of them, but seeing them here together, while the individual figures have been a little lackluster, the Vipers, especially with their yellow paint, kind of really slapped on heavy and not great. And the Bats are a little lackluster, even though I do like the red visor a lot more than the silver on the original one. Overall, cohesively, when you put them in a set, they don't look bad at all. So do I recommend them? If you're going along with the rest of these classified series, yes, he's a great addition if you are collecting this sub team. With the subsequent release of Copperhead at some point, I am sure we will get a redeco of him in the Python Patrol colors, and hopefully we'll have a different deco, probably the reverse deco of the Cobra Infantry, and he'll be in the same, hopefully the same deco as the vintage Cobra Python Patrol Officer. But anyway, that's everything right now. This is Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds saying thanks for watching. I hope you have a great holiday, and we will talk to you again soon. I hope you enjoy the pictures. Bye.